There are two houses on the same street, same builder, same year, same roof, same kind of family inside. A storm comes through one summer night, the kind that bends the trees flat and throws hail the size of marbles against the windows. Both roofs take a beating. Both families file a claim. One of them gets a check that covers a brand new roof, every penny. The other one gets a letter that says the damage looks old, that it was wear and tear, that it started before the policy, and the claim is denied. Same street, same storm, same damage. One paid in full, one paid nothing. And the thing that decided it happened months before the storm ever arrived. It was free. It took about 20 minutes. And almost nobody does it. I spent close to 30 years as a property claims adjuster. I worked storm country, the Midwest, the Gulf, the Plains, the places where the sky turns green and everybody knows what that means. I sat at the desk and I signed off on what got paid and what got refused. I approved thousands of claims and I denied thousands more, and I want to be honest with you about something. The difference between the family that got paid and the family that got nothing was almost never how bad the damage was. It was what they could prove. That is the whole game. And after I retired, with no company left to protect, I started telling people the part the desk never says out loud. Here is the part nobody warns you about. The day the storm hits, a clock starts running. It is not the clock you think. You think the clock is about how fast you call it in. That matters, but it is not the one that sinks people. The clock that sinks people is the one that started ticking long before the storm, the clock on proof. Because the second your roof is damaged, there is no way to go back in time and show what it looked like the day before. That before picture either exists or it does not. And if it does not exist, the only history of your home is the history the insurance company writes for you. Trust me, you do not want them holding the pen. Let me take you behind the desk for a minute, because once you understand how a claim actually gets sorted, all 7 of these photos will make sense and you will never forget to take them again. When a claim lands on an adjuster's screen, the first question is not how bad is it? The first question is, when did this happen and what caused it? Insurance covers sudden and accidental damage. It does not cover gradual damage, the slow kind, wear and tear, the stuff that builds up over years. So the whole fight, every single time, comes down to one line. Was this sudden or was this already happening? And here is the trap. To you, a missing shingle is a missing shingle. To the desk, a missing shingle with no history is a missing shingle that was probably already loose. The burden of proof is on you, the homeowner, not on them. They start from a simple position. Show us this was good before, and we will believe the storm did it. Cannot show us. Then we get to decide. And the adjuster they send out arrives with a camera and takes pictures of everything that looks old, faded, cracked, or worn, because every one of those photos is a reason to pay you less. You are not in a conversation, you are in a documentation contest. And right now, most homeowners show up to that contest with nothing. Quick thing before I show you what to actually do. If you own a home, this is the stuff I wish somebody had handed me 30 years ago instead of letting me find out the hard way. Hit subscribe and I will walk you through one of these every week, the mistakes I watched cost people the most, told straight, the way the desk would never tell you. Alright, here is the fix. So we are going to fix it the cheap way, the free way, the way that wins. 7 photos. You can take all of them in one slow walk around your house this weekend with the phone already in your pocket. The goal is simple. We are building the before file, the thing the adjuster hopes you never made, so that when the storm comes, the history of your home is written by you and not by them. Photo number 1. The whole roof, from the ground, all 4 sides. Stand back far enough to get the full slope in frame and walk the perimeter of the house. You are not trying to be a roofer. You are trying to show one thing. On this date, this roof was intact. Shingles lying flat, nothing missing, nothing curling. When the hail comes through later and the adjuster says that bare spot looks like it has been there for years, you have a clear picture from this spring that says, no, it has not. That one photo has turned more denied roof claims into paid roof claims than anything else I ever saw cross my desk. Photo number 2. A close shot of the shingles themselves. Get up to a window on the second floor if you can do it safely, or use the zoom and capture the texture of the shingles up close. The granules, the surface, the edges. The reason is simple. Hail damage and wind damage have a specific look: fresh bruising, fresh tears, exposed matte. If your before photo shows a clean, granular, healthy surface, then the after photo showing fresh strikes tells the story by itself. Sudden and accidental. That is the magic phrase, and your two photos just proved it without you saying a word. Photo number 3. The gutters and the downspouts. Nobody thinks about the gutters until they are hanging off the house. Walk the line of them and photograph them attached, straight and clear. Gutters are one of the first things wind pulls loose, and one of the first things the desk argues were already sagging. A before photo of straight, secure gutters cuts that argument off before it starts. Photo number 4. Every exterior slope and surface that faces the weather. The siding, the fascia, the soffits, the trim. Walk each wall of the house and get a clean shot of each side. Siding cracks, panels pop loose, trim splits. And just like the roof, the desk will tell you it was already like that. Your wall by wall before file says otherwise. While you are at it, photograph the garage door from the outside. Wind loves a garage door. It is a big flat sail bolted to the front of your house, and when it fails in a windstorm, the damage behind it can be enormous. A clear before shot of an undamaged door matters more than people realize. Photo number 5. The big trees near the house, and I mean the ones close enough to fall on it. Stand back and photograph each one: the trunk, the lean, the canopy, the branches that hang over the roof. Here is why this one is sneaky. When a tree comes down in a storm, the question the desk asks is whether that tree was healthy or already dying. A dead or rotting tree that falls is often treated as something you should have dealt with, a maintenance problem, not a storm problem. A photo from a few months back showing a full, healthy, leafed-out tree helps prove it was alive and sound right up until the storm took it. That distinction can be the difference between a covered loss and a bill that lands entirely on you. Photo number 6. The areas you cannot see from the ground but you can reach, the attic and the ceilings inside. Go up into the attic with the phone and photograph the underside of the roof deck, the wood, the insulation, any spot where light might show through. Then walk the top floor and photograph the ceilings, clean and dry, no stains, no bulges. This is your leak baseline. When water shows up after a storm, the desk wants to know if that stain is new or if it is an old slow leak you ignored. A dry, clean, before photo of your attic and ceilings says the water that is there now arrived with the storm, not before it. Photo number 7. The one most people never think of. Your home's mechanical systems and the rooms that hold them. The water heater and the pan underneath it, the furnace, the electrical panel, the sump pump in the basement if you have one. Photograph each of them in place and working. Why does this belong in a storm file? Because storms cause power surges, flooding, and water intrusion that wreck these systems, and these are expensive. When you file for a ruined water heater or a fried panel, the desk wants proof it was functioning before. A simple before photo of the unit, intact and installed, does that job. Now here is how you actually use these so the work is not wasted. Timing is everything, and there are 3 windows that matter. The first window is before the season, and that is right now. Take all 7 photos this weekend before the first big storm of the year while everything is calm and intact. The second window is the moment the damage happens. Within 48 hours, before you clean anything up, before you tarp anything, before any contractor touches it, take the after photos from the same angles as your before photos. Same spots, same distances. Matched pairs are what win. The third window is before they arrive. Once you file, an adjuster is coming, and you want your full set, before and after, saved and backed up before that visit, not scrambled together afterward. Notice what is not on this list. I did not tell you to buy anything. The whole protection is free. It lives in the phone you already own. Let me tell you about one homeowner, and I'm going to call him Dale, and I want to be clear this is a composite, the kind of case I saw over and over. not one real person. Dale had a windstorm tear shingles off the back slope of his roof. He filed. The adjuster looked at the bare spots and the weathered look of the surrounding shingles, and the file came back as wear and tear, denied. Dale was furious, and honestly, the roof probably was storm damage, but he had nothing from before. No history, no proof. Just his word against the desk's read of a worn-looking roof. There was almost nothing to fight with. Now picture the same Dale who had spent 20 minutes one Saturday in spring walking his house with his phone. Same storm, same denial letter, except this Dale opens his folder, pulls up a clear photo of that exact slope from April, shingles flat and whole, and sends it in. That is not a feeling. That is evidence. That is the claim reopened, and very often the claim paid. The only difference between the two Dales was 20 minutes and a free folder of photos. I want to say something honest about why this works, because it is different from what other folks will tell you. Nobody buried anything. There is no secret your insurer is hiding in a vault. The rule that sinks people is printed in your own policy, in plain sight, and it is the line that separates sudden and accidental damage from gradual wear and tear. They are not lying to you about it. They are counting on you never reading it and never preparing for it. That is the whole thing. The burden of proof sits on you. It always has, and the company is allowed to assume the worst about your home until you show them otherwise. These 7 photos are simply you showing them otherwise before you are ever in a position where you are desperate and they are holding all the cards. And understand what is really at stake here, because it is bigger than a roof. A denied claim is not just a number on a letter. It is the difference between a roof that gets fixed and a roof that leaks all winter into the house you raised your kids in. It is the savings you meant to leave behind going to a contractor instead. It is the security of the one thing most families spend their whole lives paying for. You did not work 30 years for a home just to lose a piece of it, because nobody told you to take a photo. So do not let that be how it goes. So here is your checklist, and I want you to pause and screenshot this right now so you have it. 1. The whole roof from the ground, all 4 sides. 2. A close shot of the shingles. 3. The gutters and downspouts. 4. Every exterior wall, the trim and the garage door. 5. The big trees near the house. 6. The attic and the ceilings inside. 7. The water heater, furnace, electrical panel, and sump pump. Take them this weekend. Back them up somewhere that is not just your phone. That is your before file, and it is the single most powerful free thing you will ever do for your home. This is for the homeowners who refuse to be caught off guard, the ones who decided the desk does not get to write their history for them. Next time, I am going to show you the 5 words you should never say to an adjuster on the phone, the ones that quietly hand them the denial. You're going to want to hear that one before you ever pick up the call.